Go back in the closet after the storm. I'm not a match, simply waiting to burn. All I am is a friend, your friend till the end. I'm not your impression of a city you wish you loved more than everything you gave for it. No, I'm not here to criticize the risk. All I am is a friend, your friend till the end. All I am is a friend, your friend till the end.
Far too long, but now I'm on my way back home. I hear the west winds calling out my name. They're telling me to head your way, down your road and past your gates. Keep your eyes on the horizon. I was looking to belong when I'd already found my home. Won't be long, I'm there before the setting sun, for you to fall into my arms, the place I call my home. I was looking to belong when I already found my home.
Rainy days don't seem so wet. Stormy nights don't stay. From the moment that we met, you were away. Oh, this could be the best thing that I'll ever know. Talk for hours and never slept. Two silhouettes on the concrete steps. We watched the sun as it slowly crept from the horizon to the place we met. Oh, this could be the best thing that I'll ever know.
One more note, one more breath, one more go is all I get this time around. One more night to sing a song, see the light dance along an empty floor I've come to know quite well. I've been lost underneath its spell, just for now, bid to you farewell. my heels and do my best. Try to forget all the rest. Remember my good intentions. Caught up in the whirlwind of, forgot about my faith in love to make the whole thing disappear. I've been lost, the fog's begun to clear. Just for now, I'll patiently wait here. If every note is my last, I'll light a fire, strike a match. Tomorrow comes, my voice is lost.